Yo, what's up foam gang? Today we are bringing the divine drama to life, the Phainon sword Dawnmaker from Honkai Star Rail. If you are looking to make this sword for your next cosplay con, you are in the right place. My name is Leon. I'll guide you through step by step. With EVA foam as your main material, you can make one that makes people jealous. We're kicking things off by printing the template. You can grab the exact one I'm using from my Etsy store, link in the description. Cut along the dash line and then tap the pages together like you're assembling an ancient space scroll. Quick tip, I stick my template onto cardstock so they last longer. Great if you're like me and hot templates like ancient cosplay relics. First up, cut 2 copies of this part on 5mm foam. Then stack them out with contact adhesive. Foam fusion time. If you're new to contact adhesive, here's the drill. Slap it on both sides, wet until it's tacky, not wet, and then stack them together like destiny. Sticking tip 101. Slap a piece of paper in between while you're sticking them, then slowly press from one side to the other. It keeps things clean and saves you from sticky disaster. After that, mark these 2 lines from the template. There's where the backbone goes to keep the sword from flopping around. Now we're gonna yeet this piece out and mark the juicy bit in the middle. Grab that center piece that we just yanked out and make 2 copies on 5mm foam. That's where the fancy blue bling gonna live. Do the same for the handle, make 2 copies on 5mm foam. Now back to this piece, slice through these 2 lines gently, but keep them in place for now and don't pop them out yet. Time to glue down the handle, but just on one side, and don't touch the middle foam yet. It's reserved for the sword spine coming soon. Now use this little guy from the template, make 2 5mm foam copies, and stick them right on top. Same side, no surprise. Back to blue bling thingy, time to level it out. Use the template to mark out your sanding guide. Use the sanding tool to bevel the edges, like the jawline for your prop. Now that it is smooth and fancy, attach it on the same side. Flip it and remove the middle foam. It did its job holding the shape and now it can retire. Now it's time to give this sword a spine, and maybe the courage to confess to its crush, unlike me. We're using a 1cm aluminum tube at its inner bone. Trim it down to size with a pipe cutter. Clean cut, no drama. Now glue the spine in with some steel epoxy. If you never use one, just mix the A and B goop evenly like you're making forbidden mayo. Now flip to the other side and stick the rest of the gang on, same drill. Next up, move on to this piece. Slant this side a bit so it seals sharp and clean. Just remember we need 2 copies on the left and 2 copies on the right. Don't forget this tiny piece at the end too. Give both sides a slanted trim and it makes the seams look nice and sharp. Stick one side on, slide in the sword base. Now follow by the edge and stick it on with the super glue. Alright, time to close this foam sandwich. Remember that piece we ditched earlier? Time for its comeback. Slanted cut on all sides, then slap it on like it's meant to be. Now onto the sword edge. This part needs just a tiny bit more elbow grease. We'll need 2 pieces left and 2 pieces right. At this side, no need for slanted cut, just your classic straight slice like butter but firm. And here we'll need a little bit more angle like 30 degrees. As for the edge, try to cut as low as possible and do a marking to remind us where to sand later. While we are at it, don't forget this final boss piece, it will seal the end right here like a pro. Let's hold everything over to the sanding stations and bevel those edges like we meant it. Low angle, sharp vibes. I recommend using at least a Dremel for the job, it's small but mighty. But hey, if you got a belt sander lying around, flex it. It does the same thing, just bigger, louder and way fancier. After sanding, it should look nice and slicey. The bevel should now be smooth and angled. If it still feels a little bit too thick, you are not done, back to the grind, literally. Once the angle's looking good, let's start by locking in both side pieces to one side first. When sticking this piece on, shift the sword edge form just about 2mm higher than the surface. We're creating a tiny layer step here for that nice dimensional look, like a foam geology. After this side is done and all good, time to give the sword tip some inner strength. Grab a wooden skewer, trim it down, pad it with 3mm foam at the other end, and insert it into the core. Sturdy, clean, approved by Cosplay physics. If it's not going in smoothly, don't force it like your last relationship. Grab a deburring tool and give the inside a quick cleanup. Now just hit the tip with some super glue and stick it on. Like love at first sight, fast, messy, but it works. Now do the same thing on the other side. Congrats, you got yourself some spicy sword edges. Just kidding, we ain't done yet. There's the middle sword edge. Same steps, different shape. Just follow the templates and slap those pieces on one by one. Alright, now that the sword is sharp and dangerous, but without a handle it's just edgy. Let's handle it, pun intended. First we mark these detail lines like a responsible crafter, then cut out the little foam bits with 5mm foam that will slap on later like topping on a pizza. Then go ahead and draw the sanding line on this piece. Think of it as a cut here for jawline instruction. Since we already talk about sanding, so you know the drill. Round off the handle like it's your favorite stretch toy, and bevel the rest like you're shaping a masterpiece. Now grab your trusty contact adhesive and slap those pieces onto their forever home. Time to summon the template again. Press those lines back on so everything lines up like a good anime plot twist. Next, grab your knife and lightly score those lines gently. Not deep enough to fight demons, just enough to help with masking later. Now we proceed to the sword guard. Gonna ease ourselves in by tackling the simpler side first. This part's fairly easy to make, just gonna put a few sneaky moves. Start by tracing onto 5mm foam, then slant cut every edges like you're trimming foam sushi. Pro tip, to keep the surface clean, use the template to find the corner. Make a shallow cut on the back of the foam, don't cut all the way. Fold it like a taco, then mark your clean line. Now give it a slant cut like slicing cake, and you will get a cleaner seam. Now finish up the rest, and if the angle isn't low enough, you know the drill. Sand it till it obeys. Oh, and one more thing, since this part had a pointy tip too, so step proof it with the same skewer method we used earlier. To attach this part, just use the sword template as a guide and slap it on with some super glue. Lastly, this tiny piece right here. Trace it from the sword template onto 5mm foam. I give it a real quick sand afterward just to fancy it up a bit. Now let's tackle the more complicated side of the guard. But don't stress, it's not that deep. It's just like the easy side but with more parts and slightly more passion. I suggest starting from the octahedron looking bits first. I use 5mm foam for this, and of course I stab a skewer right into the pointy tip, gonna give that boy some structural integrity. Now let's move on to the rest of the guard parts. I have the memory of a goldfish during foam builds, so I label each piece like I'm doing IKEA furniture blindfolded. Okay, now the spiky boys are done, let's get these bridge pieces on. 3mm foam is the move here. Follow the pepakura and connect every pieces like solving a puzzle. Time for the final boss, the handle tip. You can be classy with pepakura or chaotic with sanding. I chose chaos. Shove a skewer inside 2 1cm foam like a kebab. Glue it up, then sand it like your life depends on it. Remember that tiny gut piece from earlier? Give it a nice little sand, then glue it on like a champ. Okay, it's detail o'clock. Grab your marking tool, draw those fancy lines like a true craftsman. Use the template, don't just eyeball this part. However, you probably have to eyeball at the side here and manually connect them. Pick up your blade, it's go time. Score them carefully like cutting a cake. After that, I use sandpaper to clean up the glue seams. Something around 240 degrees works pretty good. Alright, time to bring out the heat. We're gonna seal the foam like a pro. Blast it with this heat gun magic. It smooths the foam like a skincare. Melts the pore, reveals the glow. It also opens up the score line you made. No more guessing where to mask. Masking just got 10 times easier. Next up, time to prime this beast. I use water-based paint with a spray gun. Smooth, reliable, but needs compressor. If you don't have one, don't panic. You can brush on PVA or white glue, or just grab some plastic dip. After priming, start with the handle. I like to use flat black because flat black is beauty. I did that part first on purpose because I need to hang the sword. After the black paint is dry, mask it. Mask the black parts clean and tight. Here's where the score lines do the magic. Use a knife to trim the tape. Perfect cut, zero stress masking. Grab some scrap foam, wrap it on the handle. This will hold the hook in place. But bro, tab betrayed me big time. It fell off and broke my soul. I am showing the damage is cursed. Anyway, it's fixed now, so no biggie. So don't be like me, skip the tab, glue foam tight so the hook stays. Next up, I use a spray gun. Mix some automotive paint for this. Silver goes on first as the base, because I'm painting metallic blue on the top layer. Silver makes the blue more vibrant, trust me. Time to mask all the blue sections. Make sure the tab is nice and tight. You don't want paint bleeding everywhere. Spray clean or regret later. Next color time, mix silver with a little bit of gold. You will get that nice warm metallic look. Then repeat masking and paint the next shade. Once you are done painting, it's unmasking day. Rip off that tab like it's a present, say a little prayer to the cosplay gods, and hope no leaks or disaster shows up. Finger crossed. Time for the real final touch. Let's let on some shading magic. I use acrylic, gold mixed with black, paint it on those juicy corners. Next, everything pops like 4K. And just like that, the Dawnmaker is done.